Hi everyone, in this video I'll show you how you can use ChatGPT to push data layer events using Google Tag Manager. So let's get ahead and start. Before showing you how to set this up or how to use ChatGPT to generate data layer events, let's first quickly define what are data layer events. So that's not like a technical explanation, but it's simply you can think of it as a translator between your website and Google Tag Manager. So your website has a specific data on, let's say, product pages. So it has the product name, price, and other information about each product. And then Google Tag Manager, from the other hand, manages your pixels, fire events, and do lots of things, but mainly send data from your website to a pixel, like the Facebook pixel or Google Analytics, and so many destinations. So in this case, Google Tag Manager cannot by default understand the values that are on your website. It has some built-in capabilities, like it can read the text that the user have clicked on. It can read the page URL, landing page URL, but they are limited and specific. So let's say you want to get some data upon specific action. And let's say you want to build a trigger when a specific action happens. So I have a use case. Let's now open this website. And let's say that we want to track when the user clicks on the add to wish list icon over here and add an item to the wish list. And let's say that we want to see how many users remove the wish list as well, like remove the product from the wish list. If you are going to use click tracking, I actually tried implementing that in this case, but the classes or the elements on this website are pretty similar. I was not able to find an identifier easily that differentiate between the add to wish list and remove from wish list. And I wanted to include specific information about what's on the product page, like the product name, price, and stuff else. So that's the use case. By building a data layer, we can simply get that information from the website and send it to Google Tag Manager. So within Google Tag Manager, you can easily send that information to any pixel. And by the way, if you are not familiar with Google Tag Manager or not experienced with it, I have a free Google Tag Manager course that's on my channel. Feel free to check it out and take it if you like. And also, if you want to take it further and to get more information and to get more experience, I highly recommend joining my school web analytics community, where we have tons of resources and we provide support, bi-weekly webinars, and many more things that you can benefit from joining. I'll leave the link for this in the description as well. So let's open ChatGPT and write the following. I want you to act as an expert web analyst and front-end developer to help me create two custom HTML tag that is supported in Google Tag Manager that fires two data layer events when a user adds an item to the wish list, when a user removes an item to the wish list. I want you to include as much data as you can find on the page within each data layer event. Here is the outer HTML code of the wishlist element that you can create these based on. Let's now go back to our website and let's inspect the element. So right click and hit inspect the element. And let's climb up a little bit to get the root of the element, which is this one. So right click and then select copy outer HTML. Go back to ChatGPT and then paste, hit enter, and let's see. So let's see what it created. It created this first HTML tag and it will include that data within the data layer event. And then this is the first one, which is the add to wishlist data layer event. So this one will not work because it's using like a modern JavaScript and it's not supported by Google Tag Manager. So let me go to Google Tag Manager and see. Have actually this tag that is similar, but let's like update it to use the new code. And yeah, it is using the old pages trigger, and that's the tag name. Let's save this one. And when you try to preview the event, you will encounter an error in Google Tag Manager that says that there is an issue with the JavaScript that is in use. So copy the error and then go to ChatGPT and say, I am encountering the following errors in GTM. What it will do is that it will explain why the error is happening, just like I mentioned. It's not supported in Google Tag Manager, and it will now show you or provide a modern version of the same custom HTML code. So let's copy this one and let's go back and then let's update the same custom HTML tag. Not spaced it. Make sure that there is no spacing and save. Let's now preview the workspace to see if this is working as expected or not. And by the way, I don't have access to this GTM container or the website. I'm just using a Chrome extension that inject Google Tag Manager to this website so I can easily test stuff on it. Cool. Now we have the website loaded. We have our Google Tag Manager container loaded. Let's now try performing the action. So let's add it. And we don't have this working. Okay, let's try another item actually. Let me scroll down and check out another item. Let's now select a variant and add this. And we have this wishlist added icon, which I think it's not the same event because ours is wishlist added. So what we can do to troubleshoot this is to go to ChatGPT and then say the data layer event did not fire upon clicking on the add to wish list icon. Act as an expert. Look at the code that I have sent and get me an updated version that would work as expected. Let's copy this one and see if it works as expected or not. And let's preview. And now we can see the data layer events. Data layer event is firing as expected. For some reason, it did not work at the beginning, but yeah, you just need to clarify the bug or the issue with ChatGPT, and it will get you um, it will get better over time. And just for reference, let's make sure that that's the one. Yeah, so that's the wish list add one. And then let's check the parameters that are within the data layer. So to check a data layer event, you can do one of two things. So using a preview mode, you can just go to the preview mode and check the left-hand side menu and click on the data layer event, and then you can see the event name and then all the parameters. And it actually helped us push other information to the data layer. So we now have the product ID, the product handle, and the product URL, and then timestamp, which is not really helpful, but yeah, you can use it, button text, and action. You can now have a full data layer event that is implemented via Google Tag Manager, and you can simply create a trigger that triggers when this action is achieved. So let's go to Google Tag Manager quickly and create a trigger and tag based on this. So let's copy this event value and let's create Google Analytics for event. Just use a random GA4 ID and let's say wishlist test GA4 wishlist test. Let's create a new custom event trigger. So let's base the value that we have just copied from the data layer, and yeah, let's say event wishlist add and save. And actually, let's add some other parameters. So let's say product ID, and we also had product handle. And let's create data layer based on these. So here we can just copy product ID and make sure when creating variables not to copy additional space. Data layer variable and then paste it. DLV, which stands for data layer variable, and then the name itself. And then let's create another one for the handle. Go back to the preview and copy this one. DLV product handle, let's hit save. And now let's save this one. Let's now preview the changes and see if it works. Okay, let's remove this from the wish list. Let's clear out everything. And now let's add it to the wish list again. And we have the data layer event firing over here. And this time we have this tag firing. So let's see the data that we have inside. So we have the product ID, and you can see that the ID is being passed correctly. And also we have the product handle, and it have the same value that we have sent with the data layer event. So if you expanding the data layer event over here, you can see that it has both values. And note that these values would be dynamic based on the product that the add to wish list event was performed. And that's it. If you find this video helpful, I would really appreciate it if you can subscribe to my channel, like and share the video, as this motivates me to create more content. This was Ahmed, and again, I have my own school web analytics community where myself and my colleague and friend Vishal Gore teach several topics in web analytics about Google Tag Manager, Google Analytics, and actually how you can break into the industry. So if you want to do this and get more hands-on experience, I highly recommend joining that community. The link of that community is in the video description. And if you have any questions or any ideas for future content, please drop them in the comment section so I can look into it. And yeah, see you in the next video.